Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, complete stealth, non-lethal walkthrough, and this is mission 5, also known as a hole in the world. And this is the last mission of the game. It's time to settle the score with the Outsider. And as I mentioned before, I am going for the non-lethal approach, which is actually quite a bit harder than going for the kill. And if this is your first playthrough of the game, I recommend you do a quick save at the end of this mission so you can get both endings. And very soon you will actually see me quick saving. And the reason for that is we need to get through this gate in front of me, and the code for the gate is random. So what I'm gonna do, I have 3 people behind me talking. So if you're really quick, they will not spot you. So I pop a quick save and I'm gonna go in through that door and I get spotted. It worked out absolutely atrociously. But they are on my ass, they are firing wildly, and I am running. What happens right now doesn't really matter because I will reload my quick save as soon as I get in here and read the code. Because in my Dishonored 2 walkthrough, I showed you how to get both Eureka and Face of the Abbey. And that is something that I really like about these games, because I reload my save, they are talking, nothing has happened, but the code is locked. Because when you started this mission, the game will generate a code, and that is consistent. So as soon as you read that note, you know, for me the code was 752, it will probably not be the same for you. It is an RNG generated code, or it is a randomly generated code. On my first playthrough it was something completely different. But anyway, that works great. And now we're gonna go into this shed, and this is quite fun actually, because I turn this crank wheel. There is one guard up on the roof, there is another one behind me, or they are cultists actually, because this is the cult praying to the outsider. And for some reason they are completely stone deaf when it comes to that gate being opened. There are some breakable boards on the roof of that little shed that you can break to get in, but it's a much more risky move, because you run the risk of the guards hearing you and in the end spotting you and you having to reload. So just pull that crank wheel and head in. They will not notice a thing. Quite amazing. But getting up here, there are a few cultists in the next room. So I'm gonna head up on this vent as soon as I get my marker up there, and now we can just blink up behind that fence. Be quite quick when you get down there. Wait for your mana bar to refill, because we blink over here and blink up this corridor, because one of them will usually start to spot you. So don't linger, just move on, be quick about it. And here we have a new enemy type that's introduced in this mission. These are the envisioned. Wow. These are the envisioned, was what I was gonna say. And the envisioned are basically big stone golem-esque enemies. There is a trophy for killing one of them. I think it's called Hardest Stone or something like that. And a way to do it is to use foresight to mark one of them, and put a blinking marker where he will stop. And when he stops there, you can blink into him. You can use that to kill a regular enemy and get, if you mark his path with foresight and then blink to where he is, you'll get clever planning, and I think it's called occupational hazard or something. But it's also good to use if you want to kill an envision, because it stuns them and then you can do a quick kill on them. But blinking into an enemy and killing them by blinking into them will drain some of your health, so be aware of that. But as always, make a quick save, go for the kill, reload your game, and you're fine. The trophy pops and you can still go for the stealth run. And getting through this mission can be quite hard, because there are a lot of cultists in this place. So try to stay as far up as you can. The strategy I use is stay up on these vents, and this is something that should be risky, because I'm gonna blink down behind that little panel and move over to that window over there. Because one of the cultists is walking around up there preaching, and I have never been spotted going for the blink into that window. It's quite amazing. But always drop a quick save before you go for it, so you don't take any unnecessary risks. And now I'm gonna use the foresight to mark one enemy. The only one that can mess this up for you, and that is that guy, because he walks back and forth on that walkway, and he is the one that can turn your day into a shitfest. Because that woman is always standing there looking over the railing, and the other guy you saw me pass that's just leaning against the wall, they will not pose a threat. But that guy, since he patrols back and forth, you need to keep an eye on his movements and see which way he's facing. So we use the foresight to get a marker up on this lamp. And be very careful, once again, drop a quick save before you move on, because there are a few cultists up there, and if you move up too far, they may spot you. And now I can see where he is. So as soon as he moves out of the way and past that beam, we can blink up there, head over the railing, be very quick about this because he may turn around, and we can blink over here and move over to the right so no one over there can spot you. And the first part of this mission is by far the easiest one, because when we start heading back, I got really unlucky, which is a good thing actually, because it ended up in the walkthrough, and I will be able to show you what you're supposed to do if that happens to you. Because one enemy got stuck on geography. He wasn't doing his patrol pattern, you will see it when we get there, which was really annoying, but I managed to work around it. But after you interact with that dead eye, the eye of the dead god, go over to this body and examine it. You have to examine that body, or I think you have to examine that body to go for the non-lethal strategy. Or actually I know you have to, because you need the key that's on it. And I'm gonna mark these two enemies, and I'm gonna mark this envisioned. Because this part, to be completely honest, I hate this part. Because this is amazingly stupid. The only way I've found to get past these three is to choke out these two ladies. I get a bit lucky with the second one, because after I choke out the first one, the second guy, or the second woman, starts walking up this pathway to see what happened to her friend, so I can just shoot her with an electric burst. But one of them always stands with her back towards you, the other one starts pacing back and forth, and that envisioned walks up and down that path. I think the envisioned, in a previous run, he moved further down. He went down that a walkway over to the left, but I think the reason he started pacing back and forth is that one of the cultists is stuck on geography. So he is basically blocking the path of the envisioned, which you will see in a few moments. And I started heading down to choke out the other woman, and suddenly I realized there was a marker on the floor. And it struck me that, ooh, she's heading up this way. And I just wanted to make sure that it was that woman and not the other cultist heading up here. But no, I realize it's her, so I'm gonna head up here. I'm gonna put her friend a little bit further in so I don't risk her seeing the body before I have taken her out. But if she doesn't move up here, just head down there again. As I said, she will be in a little pattern, pacing back and forth. As soon as she has her back turned towards you, choke her out. Because the electric burst, which the thing that differs that from the sedative arrows or sleep darts in the previous games is that it makes a noise when you use it. So if another enemy is too close, they will hear it and they will become aware, or they will become alerted, so they will start checking out what has happened. And now we have this envisioned guy, so I'm gonna blink up on this little pathway or little cliff. And you see this guy, he's supposed to go over on the walkway. You can see the footsteps where he wants to go, but for some reason he's stuck. So I was having a bit of trouble getting past this. Because also that envision will sometimes follow him. On my previous run he went over there and the envision followed. So I was completely alone here. But what I do, which I would do either way, but I blink over here, take quite nasty fall damage. But if you don't have that guy blocking your path, you can move up closer to the fence. You can be sure to blink in behind the wall, so the cultist sitting there won't be able to spot you. And there you saw a little transition. Don't move out too far because you will get spotted. There are 3 cultists there, so be very careful. Don't step out too far. Stay behind as far as you can, so you can blink up on the vent and further into the room where we're gonna do the things so we can take out the outsider in a non-lethal way. And getting into the room where we get the things we need to do it, or the clues to be able to do it, can be a pain. And getting out can also be a pain. But I'm gonna show you what I think works really well. The first thing you should do is mark everyone in this room. You can go down on this rock, which is a great place to be in, and mark all the guards in here. The envisioned, for some reason, for me, he despawned. But mark there, I think there are always 3 cultists, so mark all 3 of them so you know where they are at all times, because that is gonna serve us well when you need to get back out of that room.
What's going on?
Because he, for some reason, gets a bit alerted. I have no idea why, but he gets alerted, so he starts moving away. And now we can blink over to this door and head in. Be quick. And we can open the safe to get the clues to how to take out the outsider in a passive way, or in a non-lethal way. And the code to this safe is consistent. It's 962. It will always be that. So we pick up Malchiod's diary, Malchiod's, whatever. And now we're gonna head back out. And what you want to do when you try to get out of here is open this door, immediately go into foresight, because opening the door will alert the guy to the right, and place a blinking marker up on this rock. So you start heading out, blink up on the rock, and you're safe. I think if you blink over to the left, you can hide behind the railing, because there is a steel plate there. But it didn't work for me. That was the absolute easiest way I could find to do it. And now all that remains is to get back to the beginning of the level, more or less. So I was a bit nervous. I had been playing this game for quite a long time, so I'm being overly cautious. I'm blinking over to that pipe, even though it's only like 2 feet away. And I'm gonna blink over to this pipe, because there is one cultist down to on the right. And there is one envisioned further up in the line where we want to go, or in the path we want to go. Because we're gonna blink over there, and there is an envisioned over on that little pathway to the left. So be wary of that. I'm gonna place a marker and I'm gonna wait to blink until I see him starting to turn towards me. He starts changing his direction, then I immediately blink to get out of his line of sight. And now we can just sneak through this little flipped over container once again. And we are almost done, people. We are past the hard parts. And now we're just gonna take this elevator. And this elevator works in such a way that you start moving it up with that lever. And it doesn't seem like you can stop it. I didn't manage to stop it. I tried by pushing that button, but it doesn't work. So be quick. Jump down on it, blink out of it, make sure to land on that roof so you don't take too much fall damage, and going into the void is much easier from this roof. All you have to do now is get past 2 envisioned, or I think it's 1 even. Because he's there right in front of me. I'm just gonna wait until he moves over to the other way. And now you're basically done. You have beaten Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, in a stealthy way. All we have to do now is move into the ritual hold in the void, and we're gonna find the outsider. There are no enemies in here. There is a giant floating whale. It doesn't care about you, so you shouldn't care about it. And if you want to take both ending trophies now, feel free to do so. Just do a quick save before you go up to the outsider. And if you want to, you can kill him and get the trophy or achievement known as Deicide. Or you can do like I do, and after you talk to him, or you go up and interact with him, just turn around, talk to Dowd. You will go in, you're gonna have to do some different speech choices. Just go for the ones that will not end with the outsider dying. It's quite easy, just drop a quick save if you fail. So you don't deserve this, blah blah blah. Go over to Dowd, talk to him, do all the speech things, and you are done. And I get trophy Shadow for being stealthy, and I have no bodies killed, no detections, no nothing. And that is the end of this walkthrough. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next walkthrough. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.